Bamm Ericsen here with AFTERBUZZ TV for Empire Season 3 finale. DJ, drop it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Since we ended the night in Vegas, right?
Right. What's up, everybody? I'm Bamm Ericsen, and you can follow me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
I'm Jill Munroe, and as you can see, I'm repping Tupac with the bandana. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill.
And I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me on all social media at abigail.a.f.
Okay, so we were discussing prior to the show being live. We were saying, Abigail and I were saying how we really, really liked the show. You thought this was the best one?
Loved it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
You gotta have someone with a different opinion, you know?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. There are parts, but I definitely took issue with a few things.
All right, and let's go. So, Mother Walker, Anika, Tariq. So, Mother Walker, she's locked in a room while Lucious is in Vegas. Lucious think his mom was crazy.
Thanks.
Yeah, right?
I think Mother Walker seems to be just as sane as she want to be. I don't.
No.
But we can discuss that.
Diabolical, maybe? I mean...
Right.
So, the first thing, Tariq's head is just laying in the bed.
Dude, as she said, that's rather unsanitary.
Really
like,
uncomfortable.
what are you gonna do with it? What are you gonna do with it? You guys gonna bury it?
Like,
it has to string it out. Don't you have people for that? I mean, I know it smells.
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's one thing. I don't believe that Lucious would just leave a body in his own home and just head off to Vegas.
Right.
No matter who's watching it. Like, I don't know.
So
there.
So you think that Mother Walker, this was her choice?
No, I just think that was poor writing.
Yeah. When she was saying there were certain things that were unbelievable, I think that was one.
Okay.
It just doesn't go with his character.
Okay. So then,
Unless they discussed it and we don't
Okay.
know that, you know.
I just feel like he would have, before he jetted off or as he was going, I'm not saying he would have stayed to necessarily take care of it himself,
Right.
but I feel like he would have had someone handle that.
Right.
okay, I'm gonna get back to that in just a second.
Okay.
So,
That seems sloppy to me.
yeah, so Mother Walker, every time she referred to Boo Boo Kitty when she calls, she says, "Hi, this is your soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law." Mother Walker was throwing shade the entire episode, which I really like. She told her to come get the rest of her belongings in mail. Then she has her use the knife to open up the mail, thinking that there's a check in the envelope for the divorce papers. So, what's your thought on Mother Walker's plan?
It was genius.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. She, like I said, she's diabolical. She planned that all the way to the end.
Right. I feel like she almost, Tariq was just a pawn in maybe the whole plan to get Anika gone.
I mean, I think it was twofold. I think
Okay.
get Anika out the way,
Yeah.
get Tariq out of the way because I never liked you anyway, you know?
But I don't think the cause was to kill him. I think it was to get her out of the picture, and he was just had to.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, I think her main mission was Anika.
See, she didn't like him though. Remember,
She didn't like
she was
him,
gonna
but I feel
kill
like
him before.
Yeah, you're right. But I feel like she
And
didn't
she was
dislike
gonna-
him as much as Anika.
And she tried to put glass in the man's sandwich. She's just a mean. She's
Yeah.
mean.
crazy.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
She's mean. So do you guys think Lucious had anything to do with this plan, or do you think
No.
this is so? Okay, so you think this is all. So then my only question is, with Boo Boo Kitty being arrested, and Tariq's head in the bed, it seems as though she planned this whole thing. So I feel like Lucious would have to be involved because Lucious was there when Tariq head was.
But what does Lucious benefit from? I feel like what is to? I mean, I guess maybe to cover up for his mom. I don't know. I just feel like Lucious doesn't want to take out Anika like that because,
Especially because of Bella.
not even because of Bella, because I don't think, I mean, he cares about Bella,
Yeah.
but not so much about her to Bella. I just feel like he's not worried about her. He knows he has her under control and she
Okay.
could be useful.
Do you think that Lucious should have informed Cookie that Tariq is dead, because he skidded around that topic and was like, oh, you know, I'm not able to get a hold of Bella. Something got in the way. Obviously, Tariq being killed had something to do. So do you
Right.
think Cookie should know?
I think So
Well, yeah, I believe she should have known, but I understand.
Why he didn't?
Yeah,
Okay.
because they hadn't gotten to that point yet.
Okay.
He was keeping a lot of secrets. So.
Okay. So, anything else on Mother Walker and her brilliant plan before we go forward? Oh, just really quickly, I like the fact that when Boo Boo Kitty was arrested, how she wanted to get the hot sauce, and then when she gets arrested, the guy
hot
comes
sauce is
in.
coming.
The hot sauce is
It
coming.
focuses on it for a minute.
And okay. So now Hakeem, Anika, and the Dubois deal. All right. So first
That pissed
thing.
me off.
What? I have a couple questions.
I'm not going. Okay.
What?
reel it back.
What was Hakeem thinking of making cardboard missing Bella signs?
He doesn't.
He doesn't think.
Yeah,
He's an idiot.
You know, I mean, he obviously has been very sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably something he saw on TV on an after-school special when he was.
Yeah, but I feel like they're taking that too far. Like, he's not dumb. He's
yeah.
not.
He seems like the last couple of episodes. He seems like, is someone drugging him? Like,
That's
what's
what
happening?
he seems slow.
Yeah,
He
like
seems a little slow.
you know.
The yelling, the constant yelling, was getting on my nerves.
Yeah.
Just the yelling, okay. Anika says, Bella is all right. I can feel it. So then we see that Anika is at the Dubois house. They have Bella, and she's in the back, and so they bring her out, and she's holding the baby. Hakeem barges in, and they hide Bella back. Mrs. Dubois, just open discussion. Because the only thing that I have in this is what the hell is going on. Yeah. I'm confused with this because Mrs. Dubois, told Hakeem that if he wants to see the baby, he must comply with the family demands. So before I
and
go
he's just
in,
like, okay.
But when did Anika team up with them?
right? So
that's one.
So So let's
all rattled
discuss this.
over this.
Let's discuss this. So when she says, "I think the baby will be okay. I can feel it," that was for me. That was like a clue to say that she knew what was going on. And then she goes over to Dubois, and when she saw the baby come out, it was no bitch. Where like there was no shock factor.
Right.
So we're led to believe that she had something to do with this from the beginning, right?
Right.
Okay. So.
I wonder at what point she went to them. Is that what we're trying to figure out?
Yeah.
I mean, great question. I guess we'll have to find out next season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is part of, I didn't mind the twist per se. I didn't mind her being involved in that and that being shady.
But the way it came about was weird.
I just felt like it was really strange that even in that moment, we didn't get any part of what was happening with this connection. And then when Hakeem bursted in, it's just kind of like, why are you so agreeable to taking your family out? Like, that just didn't seem right to me.
And those threats didn't make sense either, because you're not demanding anything up front from him before he gets her or sees her.
Well, she wasn't giving her to him.
But then also, like, you're letting him go. Like, there was nothing to stop him from saying, like, hey, Dad, here's what's going on. They have her.
My problem with this storyline was Hakeem was yelling the entire damn episode. He was yelling.
Yeah.
He was yelling in anger. So you burst into the door, you yell, "Where's Bella?" You get through the security guards, and then they bring the baby out, and then you agree to something that we're not sure what's going on. If you're so angry,
and then you leave your child there.
That's my point. You're angry. You're angry for like 2-3 episodes, and so you see your child, and then you don't walk out with your child.
Right.
You should have beat down Angelo. You should have brought the goon squad, and you should have basically killed everybody, including Mr. Barr. You should have killed that bitch.
I agree.
Because what parent, after your child has been missing for maybe a couple of weeks, so you're gonna come in angry. You're gonna come in angry, and then you hold your child, and then you're gonna let them take the child back because of some type of an agreement, and there's no gun or there's nothing pulled. Like, that just didn't make any sense to me.
I'm saying that was like a huge problem for me, because it didn't click. It didn't align with his behavior before. He's been so distraught over Bella, so like a changed person, and he didn't ask any questions.
Right.
None. Since when? Right. That was like disappointing to me.
It was.
And not only that, but Hakeem's a spoiled brat. He's a crybaby, and he knows that his parents are murderers. They kill people.
Right.
So it's like he knows who his mother and father is. So at any point you didn't go and tell your mom and dad
Exactly.
what's going on. Yes, you told them that yes, the baby's fine and it's in care, but you know that Lucious and Cookie would take that whole entire family out with no questions asked.
And
so,
you'd get your baby back still.
Right.
And they wouldn't have to know. And I don't understand why why Mrs. Dubois thinks that he's not going to say anything. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, you have the baby, but you could not have the baby too.
So then, let's try and make some sense of this, because once we discuss this show, I'm done and I won't think about it until it's time to come back for Empire season 4. So what are the possible threats that the Dubois family could have had to make him choose
None,
it?
because it was a poor script writing
I
choice.
agree.
So you're not having it.
It just did
Okay.
No,
nothing.
I don't.
Nothing
just
coincided.
It wasn't the Lion way. It wasn't the Hakeem way. I mean, just none of it made sense.
Okay.
He's up there making signs 5 minutes before, and now he's just like, oh, baby. Like I said, is he drugged? What's going on? Has Anika been slipping something in his,
Right. His acting was, and his acting, honestly, I didn't even.
Right.
He didn't even look that excited to see her. Like when he saw, there was no tears. There was no like. I don't know.
Okay, well, continuing on with the Dubois
Yeah.
family versus the Lyons. So, Jamal, Becky, and the Dubois twin. So, there is another music showcase. Yay! And Becky and Jamal are there, and Becky chats with Jamal on who his next man should be. They agree that he should stay away from guys in the music business. So, first question is, Philip wasn't in the music business, so why didn't he fight to get him back? I mean, that's so petty, and that's so 4 weeks ago, but I'm just saying. So Philip was a good guy, and the only reason that Philip left was because you was too busy thotting and bopping with D Major.
I think he just chalked it up as lost cause.
So you had
He didn't really like Philip, though. That's what I think.
It was
I think that
entertainment,
he appreciated Philip. Philip helped him through a rough patch, but like you said, they didn't have the fire, the chemistry, and I think he liked him, but he didn't like
I also think that Philip didn't express interest.
He didn't fight for him.
No, but I don't feel like Philip, in the whole entire time that they were there together, Philip didn't really when a dude like you,
Right.
And so
it was very melancholy.
I
I
felt like Philip really never showed how he really felt about him, and then it happened at the very, very last minute, and it's like boom. So I feel like there was no build up to like two people liking each other.
So here's the question I have about the twin.
Oh, wait, hold on.
You ready to jump?
Okay.
I told you I had certain issues. I enjoyed it.
So before we get to that, another petty Pablo situation. So Becky is concerned about Jamal. Shouldn't Becky be worried about her own man or find a new one since her dude is clearly MIA?
She said we
we're
both
yeah.
we both need to stay away from musicians. So
They're done.
They done.
Okay, I missed that.
I mean, I was wondering what
Yeah.
happened to him because what was it, the first episode?
Yeah.
When she was thinking about going with him. I guess I'm assuming when she didn't go with him to
was
the
game
label
over.
and
Yeah.
the A&R.
So is I still think you should worry about your own man.
But they're best friends. They're besties.
No.
She's a like.
My problem.
Yeah.
My problem with it's not a problem, but Jamal seems to he doesn't seem like he can function without a man. He kind of comes off and I'm not really being shady, but this is just an observation. He comes off as like a male Blanche Devereaux or Sandra Clark, like he always needs a man.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of people like
I know
that.
a lot of girls like that.
So therefore,
Codependent.
Yeah.
so therefore, Becky, why are you trying to help this? Like he's gonna be okay. He's going to find a man. Girl, you need to find a man.
But here's the problem. Why else
I know
she
it's
wants
petty.
to find a man
Yeah.
is because
her
what does
career,
he do?
right.
Yeah, what does he do better when he's booed up? Make music.
Okay.
I mean, but I guess in theory, Cookie versus Lucious is supposed to be amazing, and
Right.
he didn't have a boo during this, but
Yeah.
that's kind of been the setup, right? He makes his best music when he is.
Well,
love.
technically, but he was starting with two dudes, so I
Right.
mean,
True,
he
true,
did
true,
have
true.
somebody.
Yeah.
So now, Tall Chocolate Muscles enters the stage, and he
Right.
starts singing this song,
the
and
lawyer.
he's flirting with Jamal while he's performing. Now Jamal is in love.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Jamal's so easy.
It's so annoying.
He's so easy.
It's so like yeah. It's like those girls, you know, where they're like, oh my God, I really like him. It's like, you met him
Like,
for 5
oh my
minutes.
God, I just met my husband.
Yeah, and-
I'm already picking out wedding gift. Not Jamal, but
Right.
girls,
But
you
no,
know.
he's like that.
Yeah.
It's too aggressive.
Before I let you go in, what's your thought of the song that Terrell Carter sang? Okay, whatever.
that was
Okay,
cool,
go ahead.
So here's my
Do you
thing.
think he sings better than Jamal? Is that what you were going to say?
No, actually,
Oh, okay.
I was thinking about you when it
Yeah,
came on.
me
I was
too.
like, I wonder
I was
whose
wondering
version of this
thinking.
band prefers.
to be honest, I didn't prefer neither song. I like. I've heard Terrell sing before because he's had he was on The Voice, he was on the X Factor, he sang in Tyler Perry stuff, so I've heard him sing a lot, and I didn't like the song originally until someone brought to my attention and they kind of made me understand why he's a great singer. And there is something that he does with his upper register that I like. He has a nice transition when he goes into his upper register, and it kind of goes into this very cool like raspy sound, like Vanessa Bell Armstrong, who's a gospel singer.
Right.
It's a nice, the way he's able to transition up into his upper register, and do what he does, and then go to falsetto. I mean, he's a good singer. I didn't like the song.
I just didn't care. It was just there.
It was just whatever.
Again,
Go.
because this season's soundtrack sucked. I mean, yeah, it sucked. So, first of all, weren't the Dubois twins? Because I remember the girl
They
at the
are.
table, at the
No.
long table in the battle. No?
No, they were never there.
I feel like this is just another thing they threw
Ezekiel, probably
Yeah.
the older brother, and it was the twin brother was not there specifically because Mrs.
Okay.
Dubois is clearly
Planning in this.
she's like Mother Walker. She plans to the T.
All the way
so
to the end.
I believe it was strategic to make sure that the twin was not there.
Okay.
But you had Ezekiel, the older brother.
Okay. I mean, well, so I thought he might have been at the table because I feel like I saw the twin, so I just assumed the girl twin, so I just assumed he was next to her. But I actually like the storyline. I like that they're playing on Jamal's vulnerabilities and that they know that he falls in love really, really quick, and how to get to his heart. I mean, I like that. I'm like, oh, okay, they're firing on all cylinders. They're taking you out one by one.
So just a couple questions. So do you think Mr. Muscles, do you think he's straight and playing gay to
That's
get his
what I was
attention?
wondering.
Or do you think Mrs. Dubois basically knows her son is gay, it's not a big deal, and she's basically pimping her son?
I think she's pimping out her son. Now that would be a hell of a twist if he was willing to go that far.
for the fam.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening though.
And if so, if he is gay or whatever the situation is, do you think he will actually fall for Jamal like the rest of the dudes, and then the plan backfires on Mrs. Dubois?
That could be a good
Could
storyline.
be. Season 4.
Yeah.
Oh no, you tell us. Don't you have the?
All right, Bam be having the
Script
inside
over
track. He
I'm
might be low-key
Yeah.
giving us some intel right now.
Right.
Things to look
Taking
out for.
notes,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I am going to say that I'm not sure whether if his character is or not, but I'm going to say that that he probably will fall for Jamal just like the rest of the dudes. And
Jamal looked good this episode too. I liked
did.
his hair.
I like
and
his hair a little longer.
He just looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked good.
Bam's like, whatever, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he will fall, and I think it's great that that this character, I guess, will come in, but at the same time, I wish Jamal kind of just sit his ass down somewhere and just kind of chill.
It's not who he is.
Just
He likes
yeah.
drama.
Wait, can I point out one other thing that was disturbing to me when they were at the showcase? Jamal was drinking.
Yeah.
So we just
Maybe
forgot
it
he
was
was
water.
in rehab. No, it was amber colored. You know,
Maybe it was Coca-Cola.
it might have been, but
No, I
it looked
know.
like
Yeah.
a cocktail beverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
He's like fine now all of a sudden.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Could be a sign for something to happen later.
true.
So when it's revealed that the Dubois twin is setting him up because he knows that Jamal has the hots for him, Angelo said during the family meeting, knowing Jamal, this will be one of our easiest conquests.
True.
So this is not the first time. This is not their first time at the rodeo. They clearly have a past of.
She
It
said
Maybe
almost
this-
makes you wonder
Yeah.
too if Angela was a pawn in it too.
Yeah.
Like if he was sent to be with Cookie for a reason.
I mean,
I don't know.
Because normally Angelo is very like, oh, Mom, he plays like dumb. But the fact that he said this, then it's a little confusing.
Well, they beat his ass last week, so.
Oh yeah, he's in
he's
That's true.
he's in a different mind frame now.
Right.
And then what are your overall thoughts on this battle with the Dubois versus Alliance?
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
Love it. It's like the Carringtons and the Colbys on Dynasty, and so I'm excited for it.
If they run the storyline correctly.
Right.
I
think they will.
I think they will because, and I like the fact that they didn't wrap this up like some of the other stuff. So I like that.
Could be long term.
I like that they keep this going, and I like how the Dubois keep having things, keep popping up because
More
again,
kids keep popping up. It's like, how many does she have?
Yeah, because like I said, we still don't know who Mr. Dubois is. We don't know the great. I feel like there's so much more to the story, and the more things come out, the more the Lyon family is gonna have to stay on their P's and Q's. But definitely also, and again, I keep saying Ezekiel. Ezekiel was the guy who was involved, who did the business, who is Snoop's manager. So that's another person who Andre's probably he's probably gonna have to fight or kill him sometime in season 4.
I mean, it's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
And can I say I love shady Felicia Rashad? That is my favorite when she serves up the shade and her little, I love seeing her in this role. I bet it's really fun for her to play too.
Now let's go to Andre. Speaking of Andre, let's go to Andre, Shine, and Charlotte. So Charlotte mentions September 7, 1996, says any ruckus here and it will and this will be the last time Empire steps in Vegas. So you're a hip hop head. I know you have something to say about that with the reference, but is her concern valid?
Well, I mean, yeah. From everything that we've read about the Lyon family, she knows Cookie did 17 years. Lucious, they've had some interesting ties. They've been connected to things. Just last year, there was a shooting, when Frida shot Jamal by accident. So I feel like, there's a little cause for concern. And to me, anything associated for her, it seems to be anything that's remotely associated with hip hop, even though there's really no hip hop in the show because it's Jamal and Lucious seems to be on his R&B stuff right now. It makes sense that there would be concerns and questions if they have shady ties.
Okay. Did it bother you they made the Tupac reference?
It did.
I know it did.
Yeah, it did.
Why?
I mean, I get it because it's Vegas and you have to, and they want to make that connection, but just, I don't know. I was just like, really? We brought it up already. Do we have to bring it up like that? It's just, I get what they were trying to do, but I almost felt like it was a little distasteful. Almost. There was something else I kind of felt was a little.
Well, because she mentioned the whole thing at the MGM and how the fight broke out and between the two and how how her dad. But I mean, I got the storyline thing and how they referenced it. I thought that was dope that her father was, but just the way that it was put together, just kind of. I felt like they were trying too hard to insert it into the storyline and make the point clear. Okay. And I just feel like it just.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, it just felt forced.
Okay, so do you really think this sex tape exists?
Could.
You never know.
But here's the thing. Is she going to chance it?
Exactly.
No.
No one's going to chance their marriage
she can't.
and their kids. And
she's Mormon. She got hella kids.
Yeah.
It's a black man. I mean, there's all types of levels. She'll lose her job. Yeah. No.
Okay. Anything else with Andre and Charlotte before we move on? All right, so now Shine and Andre, they're back speaking. Last week they were, so they kind of have this love-hate relationship, but Andre meets Franco, who controls the bomb from the phone app. Did that scare the shit out of you? That the fact that you can control the bomb?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we kind of know that. The thing that I thought was interesting, and I actually saw someone kind of complain about this, they felt like Fox should have put in a warning because it's too late for them to change it up or anything, but because of what happened over the weekend in Manchester, kind of was like talking about a bomb going off at a musical performance. That was kind of weird, but I thought that it was interesting that they chose, you expect gangsters, they're gonna shoot you. No, we're gonna blow something up. We're gonna have a diversion in the casino, get you to run out or something, and you're gonna get blown up. I thought it was a great another great little twist. I liked it.
I definitely I agree to that, and I'm just gonna assume that they probably couldn't change it because the show.
It's way too late.
Yeah, the show wrapped back in March, and everyone's gone.
But even a warning.
Yeah, I just thought. I mean, I know that there was nothing they could do about the
sensitive
actual
material
episode,
due to.
But just I just felt like maybe they might have wanted to just, I mean, it was fine, obviously, but I just wondered,
So now let's get to the bulk of the stuff. So did Juliana really think that she had Lucious on lock and that she would just be the new bitch in charge of the Empire?
100%.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
And I hated the way, I mean, we keep saying this. I liked the character and the idea of it. Just hated the way she was developed.
No.
Yeah, it just
didn't work.
because it just she didn't seem ruthless enough to me. She seemed really petty and jealous and just outmatched.
She didn't own what she was saying she was, really, like you said, petty. She seemed very petty, and even her exit wasn't.
Yeah,
it was weird.
I
It was
just
just weird.
I wanted more, but who called it? You or you called it that Lucious a couple weeks ago was playing? Yeah,
That was me.
So
So any other thoughts on the conclusion of on the thoughts of her, the conclusion of her storyline?
I thought that perhaps, I mean, she could pop back up, obviously, because it's not like she's dead. I can't believe she went that quietly.
Right.
But I thought that maybe that had something to do. That was another one of my issues, because that seemed out of character, especially as how bad she wanted this, and this was her club. Like, she's just gonna be like,
Okay,
okay,
escort me out.
escort me. I mean, yeah, that seemed wrong to me.
But what if let's put this in perspective, and may also be bad writing, but so who is Juliana's, who's her squad? Who are her homeboys that she can call and have somebody be killed?
We don't know. She might have them. I mean, whoever the ties were to her ex-husband. I mean, she came to that meeting. There's still, why did she kill her ex-husband? We don't know.
Yeah.
At that. So there's just stuff that's just left really open. So to me, I feel like if you're in Vegas and you're that type of person, you have somebody that you could call. You got to kill her. You got to kill her on deck somewhere.
I agree. I do believe she should have been killed.
And I also feel like
I'm supposed everyone
I
dead.
love to kill him.
but I thought maybe that it just kind of wrapped up like that, because if the rumors of what were happening on set were true, that might have something to do with it.
Okay, and people have been asking me to chime in on that topic. Do you guys have an opinion about that?
Well, I think that it could be possible. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
I've been trying to avoid the topic, but people know that I will give my opinion, and I will say that I believe it. I believe the rumor. I do, and that's all I'm going to say. But yes, I believe it. So now let's go into Lucious. I wrote in my notes. So did Lucious get saved and filled with the Holy Ghost?
I mean, the last 3 episodes.
I've been saying that a change has come over Lucious, and we question whether or not if it was genuine.
I think it was.
Did he prove you guys wrong?
Wait. Since we're talking about Lucious's change, right? And wrap-ups and going back to Angelo, are we not going to talk about Barry showing up?
Oh, it's coming.
All right,
It's
sorry.
coming.
You're ahead of yourself.
I know.
Here.
I'm just
You're so
excited.
excited.
Because,
I know.
No, because I feel like that, him being there sort of capped a theme from the entire season.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's part of what started opening Lucious up, was seeing Cookie fall in love with Angelo and how happy she seemed to be and at peace, and just reminded him of the earlier days.
Okay. So I will skip what I'm. Let's get into that, because Barry and Michelle.
Right. I see what you did there.
So,
I see what you did there, Lee Daniels.
So Barry scalps tickets. I don't know if they still scalp tickets. I just thought you just go to StubHub.com or something and just buy tickets.
No, they still
scalp.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he takes his wife to see Lucious. He yells for Laretha to get through VIP. So I just have open discussion on both couples sitting and chatting.
It was a little uncomfortable, but I think that it's more. I think it was more important to Cookie in her life than it was to Barry. I think Barry got over it quickly, but with Cookie,
it was only uncomfortable for Cookie.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone else, no, because for Lucious,
she had all this internal struggle.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that it was a great kind of buttoning that up to see, because we know how she struggled with, did I make the wrong decision with my life? Did I make the wrong choice? What would my life have been if I would have stayed with Barry? And she sees, you know, they're 2 doctors, their daughter graduated from medical school and is taking over the practice. They're retiring, they're going to travel the world. I think that those are things that Cookie felt like she wanted in her life. And so she once again, especially, well, no, by that point he had dismissed Juliana, right? Okay, so, but even in that, I think it was just kind of an awakening for her again, and sort of putting that part of her to bed, but still understanding that there were some things about that she did miss.
Cookie, let's be real, okay? You know, yes, you had aspirations to be this great, you know, had this great promising career, but you've always liked the street life and street dudes, and there's no way that you and Barry would be married, because you being a doctor, that's just not a part of your DNA.
She would have cheated on him and left him.
Right.
She would have been a doctor's wife and then cheated on him.
Yeah.
You know, something.
She would have been bored stiff.
Right.
She probably would have been cheating with Lucious.
Yeah.
Right.
Barry and Michelle.
2 different types of people.
Yeah, 2 different types of people. I don't want to say they're boring, but, you know,
They're boring.
They're very, I mean, I think that they're very sort of...
They're routine.
They're very conservative. They lead a simple life.
Yes. Yeah, I don't want to say they're boring, but, you know, and by the way, the guy who played Barry, that actor, that is exactly who I envisioned to play the older Barry.
I mean, I thought that was a good,
yeah, spot on.
Yeah, that was really good.
And then clearly Michelle has no clue that
the history.
Right.
Because he said that he knew Lucious.
Yeah.
Right.
He knew Lucious.
I mean,
I think it was just like less of a deal to him.
Yeah, I think he got over it quickly, but Cookie never did because of what he represented.
And it's always to get over something when, Lucious may be this millionaire, but a doctor trumps a rapper.
Depending on who you are. Because to your point, what you just said was that,
does Dr. Trump Drake? Because, like, I'm okay with Drake winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm going to say yes, because doctors...
Because you got to stick with what you said.
I mean...
I'm messing with you.
He's a doctor. His wife's a doctor. His daughter's a doctor.
Sounds like a stressful household.
And...
Just saying.
Like, Lucious changed people's lives and influenced people's lives based off lyrics and things. These people actually
save lives.
They actually saving lives. They cut into people's...
We don't know that. They could be general practitioners.
You hate. You're hating. You're hating, and don't come for me in the comments. I don't care. Save it. But a doctor will always trump a rapper.
No,
to me.
I mean, it's a solid career.
Yeah.
It is. You know the path to get there.
You know that what money you're gonna make. You know, the outcome is very visual.
You know, there is more of a success factor. If you chose medical school over, I'm an aspiring rapper. Like, I know a guy that's like 40-something still trying to rap. He's been trying to rap since he was 18. He had a record deal when he was 18, and still at 40, he's trying to be a rapper.
You could have invested that time into 8 years in medical school and knew you were going to be making minimum 120 grand.
Why are you still trying to be a rapper at 40, dog?
You are shady as hell.
This is all. It's not that. All I'm saying is this: if you have been trying since you were 18, had a major deal then, and nothing has happened since,
you gotta.
gotta be real with
I feel
yourself.
like everyone needs to have a cutoff point where they're like, nothing's happened.
I think I know who you're talking about.
22 years.
I think I know who you're talking about. We're gonna talk afterwards.
Oh, maybe. Let's see.
I think. But so yeah. But I'm glad.
Dr. Dre fall in this category?
No, he's not a real doctor.
Because he was successful.
No, you ain't a real doctor, homie.
He's not a real doctor.
Calling Dr. Dre to surgery. He was strategic on the ones and twos.
No,
Okay.
Not buying it. But agree
So
to disagree.
who would you rather be with, Lucious or a doctor?
I'm not with. See, here's the thing. I'm not like really the ride or die chick because I got a lot of questions. I want to know things. I, want to be filled in some things. I don't think I'd be good for jail. So, that kind of
as a doctor.
It would have to be somebody like Drake who is, more clean.
Yeah,
I don't know.
clean,
I don't know.
rapper.
Never's for me. Doctors have a lot of stress too. That's not necessarily an easy lifestyle. They're not home a lot. There's a lot of debt that comes with that. I'm just saying, my mom was an RN. She taught nursing. You know, she was a college professor. So
I'm sorry. Forgive us for
We just went on our little
forgive
tangent.
us for breaking topic, ladies.
yes.
You really would consider being with a rapper over a doctor?
If it was a success, if they already had the success, yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about struggle rap.
Think about the lifestyle.
Do you know how many doctors cheat on their wives?
Yeah, with nurses and all that stuff. And
Do you know how many? I think
college.
that's just a men thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's like you're a doctor, you're a rapper. Yeah, rappers have like probably bigger booties around them 99% of the time, but who's saying everyone's cheating with like a hotter girl or something? Like, men cheat.
Yeah. I just would want to be with whoever's for me. That's all. Career is important. It ranks, but I'm not going to say, ew, you're a rapper. Ew, you're a doctor. I'm just going to say, do we connect? Do we have
depends on
common
the
goals?
person.
Are we, building a future together? Do we have the same life plan? Yeah.
Wait, can we get that eye roll one more time? 'Cause I don't think-
I don't know what I did, but so I'll try to remember.
What would you rather be with, a singer or a doctor?
Or a rapper.
Or a
Nicki
female
Minaj is
rapper?
single.
Yeah.
No,
not a rapper.
So if
I won't say what.
Rihanna or a surgeon or a neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
A surgeon.
Okay. Bam has substance.
Yeah.
We clearly do not.
We just want to have fun.
And Rihanna, absolutely not.
She has slept with a lot of people. Okay.
So anyway, yeah, because we'll talk afterwards.
Anyway.
Yeah. So now going back to when Cookie met Lucious, the Vegas thing. So Lucious had a change of heart, and so he kicks Juliana to the curb, and so he tells Cookie that he has been planning this for a couple weeks. Jamal has been involved, and so Cookie also realized during that time that about the $10 million that
Yeah, she didn't know about that.
she didn't know about that. And so Lucious has a change of heart, and so now he goes and presents this whole thing with when Cookie met Lucious, and so Jamal goes and sings first. What's you guys' thought?
My heart was warm and fuzzy the whole time. I was so happy.
I thought it was sweet. You were happy they were back together?
Yeah, it was like finally, and like it was just like sweet to see them like touching each other and just being all like lovey-dovey. I liked it.
I mean, I liked it for nostalgia's sake, but long term, that's going to crash and burn. So,
But
Yeah.
I think, they didn't like. Although Lucious, he confesses love. He was like, you're my only love. You're my true love, which is right. They are both each other's true love. But Lucious didn't propose. He didn't get married. All he said was, I'm tired of fighting, and I want to do some of the things that I haven't had the opportunity to do. You've been in jail for me for 17 years. We haven't traveled around the world. They probably have never taken a honeymoon.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is kind of, you remember how you kept saying last week, your number will be 17, 17. Lucious is now trying to do what you said. He's trying to make up.
As he should. As he should, and he's courting her to doing it, and he can't propose because technically he's still married. The divorce isn't finalized yet. I think it's sweet. I think she deserves that, and I really, honestly, I don't feel like they need to be in a rush to get married anyway.
No,
and
they're
I
just
don't,
happy with each other.
And I don't think neither of them wants to get married. I just think that they want to be happy and just kind of do some of
Enjoy
the
each
things that
other.
they haven't been able to do.
And reconnect with each other in a
Yeah.
different way.
And not just be at each other. Like once that fighting's out of the way, it's like, what do we have to fight about?
Yeah.
You know?
What do you guys think about Jamal's performance? That song reminds me of Teddy Pendergrass's "Wake Up Everybody."
Wake up, everybody. Is that
Yeah, that's it. Most people won't know that song, but Google it, YouTube it. It's Teddy Pendergrass with it's Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
yeah.
But because I have the record.
And he was the lead singer,
Yeah.
even though his name wasn't Harold.
Yeah, "Wake Up Everybody." So that's what that song reminds me of. It's like a throwback to that. And then as far as Lucious is concerned, all I have is so isn't he a rapper?
R&B Lucious.
I thought it was cute.
No,
I
R&B
was here
Lucious.
for it.
It reminded me of Best Man. Like Terrence Howard very much was, I'm blanking on his character. What was his character's name in Best Man?
I don't remember,
But that's
yeah.
who he was for me in this episode
And,
somewhat.
and then even in the lyrics, he says, every person you meet, there's a little God in them. And so again, Lucious has become this whole entire new person. I like it. It's refreshing. but you know, we'll get to that just in a second. So
I'm the only one that's here for this.
Andre tells Shine to call the hit off. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back. What's your thoughts of when he gave over the company to Andre?
I was glad.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good move.
Do you think it was long overdue? Do you think Andre's ready? Do you think and he did mention that, you know, you are the smartest man on the planet, you know, when you have your family and when you are taking your medicine. So Andre clearly was overwhelmed. He looked a little verklempt. But you agree that Lucious should have done this a long time ago?
Yeah, and I agree with what he said to Andre, and I felt like, you know, in some ways, that's all Andre wanted to hear.
Yeah.
To be supported and to feel like he mattered in the grand scheme of things. Because Lucious even pointed out, your brothers have the music. So Lucious knows how Andre feels inside. And I think, you know, sometimes it's like, almost like, oh, Andre just needed a hug.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a hug, literally, but that's what I felt like.
Right.
And he did say, I was scared of you. And so for me, that was just as powerful as saying, I'm proud, I love you. So him by acknowledging that he was actually scared of his son is his way of saying he loves him.
I mean, I thought it was a very deep scene, because those are things I believe, you know, maybe some parents may go through with their children if they see things in their children that they see the greatness in them, and then they see other parts that they don't know how to contain, especially we see how crazy Mother Walker is. So
It's a scary thing.
you know?
Yeah.
So Andre tells Shine to call the hit off. Shine does it anyway. Does Shine have a right to be pissed with all the constant changes between Andre and Cookie?
Kind of, yeah.
He has a right to be irritated, but
What's
I
in
don't
it
know
for
why.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Why
don't know
wouldn't
why
you
he
call
wanted
that
to.
off?
Yeah, I don't know why he wanted to go ahead and do it
What is that
anyway.
gonna
Because
do?
how are you going to position? Because
now you're gonna have nothing.
yeah, because we didn't even see Nessa this episode. She's just gone out the mix, and he didn't seem worried about that. That's your artist. That's what's going to take your label up. So
Well, you have to remember, if Cookie was blackballed from coming to Vegas, clearly Nessa wouldn't be invited.
no. I mean, I believe that, but I'm just saying in general, though.
Yeah.
Shine, you're not worried about getting your art. Like it just again.
And what also didn't make sense is because Andre, if you kill Lucious, there's Cookie. Cookie will get him on until she finds out that Shine has something to do with it. So it seems that it would just make sense if Andre's in charge, then you can kind of control him a little bit better, or you can bribe or do something. But again, that could just be lack of knowledge. He's thinking only street mentality.
Shine.
Yeah. Shine.
Yeah, probably. And then too, I guess he just
Spur of the moment. Like, I'm just gonna do it.
he's just
anyway.
like, I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
So he does it anyway. The fire explodes, and now, so the question is, his intention wasn't to blow up Club Leviticus or Inferno. He was only trying to kill Lucious in the car. So
Would have been Lucious and Cookie.
yeah, yeah, and so just an open discussion. So we see what happens. Cookie is okay. We go to 3 months later, and then he's in the hospital.
Why 3 months? That kind of irked me. I'm like, 3 months?
In a coma for 3 months?
Not that he was in a coma for 3 months, that we jumped 3 months ahead. It just, I don't know.
I think it's because they didn't have to tie up a lot.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It just seemed like a weird time for. I mean, I get, you know, you want to
show how
it's been a long
serious it
time.
is,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Can we just talk about Demi Moore's freaky nurse character?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was really creepy.
Yeah.
I get physical therapy. I get touch therapy. You're molesting him, and nobody's asking you any. Like, Cookie's mad, but
Yeah, but she's not saying it. It was really uncomfortable.
and my point is, if they've been there 3 months, Cookie would say something. I mean,
this, right? Would have
yeah.
seen this.
So
Or unless she's not visiting, this is the first time she's. But we
No,
know
but-
that's not.
But yeah, because she says, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
right. So
Like, is this the latest they've ever stayed, or
it was just some weirdness
Weird.
in all of that.
And
yeah.
I don't know why she didn't say something. Like,
And so who is she?
She said that
Some
she's a nurse.
high-tech
And
nurse.
then what also was weird to me was her saying that she couldn't give them any information.
Right, and she's
Yeah.
well, because she's not married.
Yeah, but what
But
about the
the
kids?
children
But the children are there, yeah.
And you can. You definitely
definitely.
can.
I mean, I thought It was
and
great.
somebody has to be authorizing his treatment,
right,
and
right.
because he's in a coma, so
It would most likely be Dre.
right,
Yeah.
whoever is in charge of that, and they would be able to get that information. So that part didn't make sense to me.
You're right. It did not make sense. It didn't make sense at all. And so, are they in Vegas? Are they in LA?
I had those questions too. Season 4.
You know, in the
yeah.
scheme of things, as a primetime soap opera, you know, kind of like a Platinum meets. If anybody remembers Platinum, it was on UPN.
UPN for like 2.3 seconds.
So
yeah.
like, you know, Platinum meets Dynasty. In the scheme of things, I think storylines and everything was great, but because, you know, we're not as we're more smarter, I do feel like there should have been points like that because it didn't make sense.
We talked about them, but there were certain places in this, I'm just like, this is
What?
poor writing.
Right.
I understand that you don't want to flesh it out or give full details, but I feel as though it could have been framed up another way, or there are things that could have been inserted into the dialogue that would
Right.
address it and move past it, so you didn't have to
100%.
get too deep into it.
And then also, why isn't Thirst there?
Right. Because clearly he's back in the mix.
Right.
So it just, again, those were the things that were disappointing to me. I just felt like there were so many holes left, and not just for cliffhanger things, just faultiness.
Right.
So then, speaking of cliffhanger, what is you guys' thoughts on the fact that Lucious has no memory?
Amnesia?
Yeah.
I expected that.
I was upset.
I expected
Why
it.
were you upset?
I don't know. It's just like that's someone's memory. That's like your whole life is gone. That's hurtful, I think, more for the people around you to go through than for him to go through.
I liked it because, again, this is
Typical soap opera tactic.
This is typical soap opera tactic, and you know, we don't see that often on primetime TV. Also, remember, Lucious has just turned over a new leaf. So he just gave the company to Andre. The papers aren't signed. So when he does get his memory, like right when everything was going great, now everything is about to turn into hell, because once he gets his memory back,
we don't know who he will be.
who will he be? Will he be this monster? Will he only remember Andre? Will he not remember Cookie? There's so many ways that they can go, and the writers will have a good time this summer trying to figure out which direction that they want to go. But it's like we're starting over again. So we went 3 seasons of all this, and there was a great conclusion, and now boom, he's lost his memory. So I liked it for that, but there are some things that just did not make sense.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was my favorite episode. I loved it.
I'm not sure what do you have so that was your favorite episode of all
Yeah,
time?
I think so.
Okay. Do you have a favorite episode for season 3?
I don't think I do. I don't know. No, it's just because I can't remember. That's
Yeah.
all. I just can't remember.
I can't remember either, especially because they have those stupid breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was a
gets
long
hard to
season,
keep track.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
I can't remember. All right, so let's go into predictions and figure out what we think is going to happen for season 4.
I think so. I'll go first. I think something weird's gonna happen
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
with the nurse, where maybe he not really remembers her, but is more comfortable with her than everybody else because of the therapy or whatever. Because I think Demi's gonna be in for a
She
a
might
bit
be
next
brainwashing
season.
him.
Yeah, we don't know what really she's
Yeah.
doing.
Get out.
Right.
Yeah.
Hypnotizing him and putting thoughts.
So I think that is gonna be something that happens.
I agree. I cannot wait for the battle between the Dubois and the Lyons, and how it's going to be impacted with Lucious being, you know, without his memory. I wonder how long they're going to do that. Is it going to wrap up as quickly as his ALS did, or that asparagus? What is it? The
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You know, his other illness that he had when Anika was like, you know, gripping the thing. So I'm curious to see how long they're going to let that part roll out.
My question is, I wonder who works for the nurse Demi. So she works with somebody. So is it Juliana? Is it Charlotte? Is it Tori? Are Tori and the nurse, because they are mother and daughter in real
Right.
life? You know,
Some connection
will
there.
there be some type of connection? So I just wonder who does the nurse character that's played by Demi Moore, who is she working with? Because clearly she's working with someone, and because Lucious has so many different alliances.
Or is it
Or
going
the
to be like a
Dubois.
misery situation, like she's
Yeah.
a super fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or, you know, does the Dubois family have anything to do? And like you said, with the whole 3 months, with it being 3 months, it's too bland, and so we don't, Yeah.
It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
that time, I would have preferred maybe a month
Yeah.
because that's long enough so that you know that it's
Right.
serious, but not long enough that other things maybe could have come into play because you're so focused
Now,
on
like,
that.
are they even going to touch
Yeah.
on what Hakeem had to do? Like,
Yeah.
you know
and
what
Bella,
I mean?
like, he's
Yeah.
just sitting in the, you know, we don't, like, Anika's in jail, like, what's
Yeah.
happening?
Right.
So,
So, and speaking of that
Where's Mother
prediction,
Walker?
so I'm curious to see how this how the Tyreek thing happens, and so with this going on and Lucious, which also doesn't make sense because 3 months has gone by, so clearly Boo Boo Kitty's in jail,
Right.
and so the family can't focus on her because they focus on Lucious, so she's clearly in jail.
and
And
where's
does
the
anyone
baby?
else know
Yeah.
about it?
Yeah, and where's the baby? Because if she's in jail and the baby was supposed to be at her parents' house,
Yeah.
nobody, I mean, it's just, again, yeah.
Well, the other last prediction that I have is I think that Mr. Muscles will actually fall for Jamal.
Whoop.
I think that would be a good one.
I
Yeah.
think he'll fall for that, and then that
And
will
then he'll
be,
join Team Lion.
I don't know if he'll join, but that will be the downfall of the Dubois plan. So.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, that's
Me
it for
too.
now. But wow, what a great season! We want to thank you guys for
Yes.
tuning in, rocking with us every week, watching and listening to us. So let everyone know where you guys can be found on social media.
Thanks for watching, guys. You can follow me on all social media at abigail.a.f.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill, and make sure you check me out on AfterBuzz, the NBA playoffs recap show.
And you can find me on our social media at Bamm Ericsen, as well as you'll see me in some stuff on TV and some other stuff. So just look out for me on social media.
Superstar.
Bam's the
And
man.
you will also find me recapping this summer one of my favorite shows. I think it's the best show on TV. No shade, Empire fans, but Power. So I'll be coming back for Power starting June, I think 26 or something. But the week that it is, we'll be doing live shows at Monday, 7:00 p.m. on Pacific Standard Time. So Power, you don't want to miss it because
Good.
so good. But thank you guys for tuning in to our show. Thank you guys so much. You are tuned in to Empire Season 3 finale. I'm Bamm Ericsen, and thank you guys for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.